my name is Rick Strobel, race manager, Fox Midwest here in Baxter, Minnesota. Fox has a long-lasting relationship with Arctic Cat and Team Arctic. For the upcoming season, Arctic Cat will be releasing a race replica sled called the Snow Pro RR. We would like to give you a little bit of tips on how to set up your Snow Pro RR to make it work at the optimum performance on the trail. Now that you got your sled off the ground, now let's go over how to set your air pressures, because that'll be really dictated on your riding style and rider weight and conditions that you're in on the particular weekend that you're out trail riding. So the first step is setting your air pressures. When you set your air pressures, we always recommend to start with the evol pressure first. And on the Arctic Cat Snow Pro RR, it's 225 pounds in the evol pressure is where we recommend to start it at. So when you screw your pump on, you'll notice the gauge goes up and it's just a little bit lower than the 225 pounds. That's correct, because you're feeling the pressure. The volume of the evol chamber is much smaller than the main chamber, so the pressure will go down because you're filling the line and the pump up. So don't be alarmed that it is a little bit low. Now that you put it on there, pump it up to 225 pounds. And once you do that, unscrew the pump. And again, as you unscrew the pump, you heard that little bit of air come out. Don't be alarmed with that either. That's totally normal, because that's releasing the pressure inside of the line. That is not releasing the pressure out of the shock absorber, because the way that our pump works, it inside of this valve, it shuts off the shock first and only releases the air out of the line. Now that you have the evol chamber done, now it's go to the main chamber. And the starting pressure for that is 125 that we recommend. So we're going to go ahead and screw the pump onto there, take off your cap, install the pump onto there. Again, you will see the pressure will be a little bit lower when you first initially put it on there. Again, don't be alarmed, it's normal. And now put it up to 125 psi on the main chamber. Now once you have that, unscrew the pump. Again, you will hear the air releasing. That is not coming out of the shock absorber, it's coming out of the pump. It's exactly what it's supposed to. Now that you've done that, reinsert your cap. And now you have set your pressures according to our starting recommendations. As you're riding in that, you might notice that it might be a little bit stiff, might be a little bit soft. If you want to adjust for roll in the corner, small bump comfort, a couple of rules of thumb there is roll in the corner. You're going to do some with your main chamber and some with your evol chamber, and that can be done by adding 5 to 10 pounds in your evol chamber will help a little bit for rolling the corner. If you do some in your main chamber, that'll be about 2.5 pounds each time. Adding air pressure makes it stiffer, reducing air pressure makes it softer. Small bump comfort, stutter bumps, big bumps. Let's start out with the stutter bumps. Stutter bumps is all done by the main chamber pressure. To make it stiffer, again, add air pressure, about 2.5 pound increments. To make it softer, reduce air pressure by 2.5 pounds. Let's go on to the big bump. The big bump is done by the evol chamber. Again, it's adding pressure to make it stiffer, reducing pressure to make it softer. We do that in about 5 to 10 pound increments on the evol chamber. The reason you do it more on the evol chamber is because you have less volume to work with. It'll make a greater increase by adding more pressure. We add 5 to 10 over the 2.5 with the main chamber.